California is the world's fourth largest wine producer. About 6,000 wine grape growers produce over 110 varieties in the state. California has produced several wine industry luminaries. Right up there with the best is Rajat Parashar or Raj Parr. Parr is among the world's best sommeliers and the man behind some of America's best domestic wines. He is also the author of award-winning and best-selling books. But how did a Punjabi raised in Calcutta become an American wine industry icon? Parr trained at the Culinary Institute of America in New York in the late 1990s to become a chef. An opportunity to train under legendary master sommelier Larry Stone changed his life.
I was working at a restaurant called Rubicon in San Francisco in 96, and my boss, Larry Stone, he tasted this wine, and then, he allowed me to taste it. And when I tasted it, it was kind of a light bulb moment. It was like, here we go.
Parr began his journey as a winemaker in 2005. He is especially known for his Burgundy-styled artisanal wines made in California and Oregon. Parr co-owns wine labels such as Sandhi, Domaine de la Cote and Evening Land. The wineries he is associated with make over 100,000 bottles of wine annually.
I've never had the pleasure of meeting Rajat, but I have heard a lot about him. I think he enjoys great appreciation and respect in the wine industry in California for sure, but also now through the world. But I'm sure at the time when Rajat was trying to carve his career, the odds were stacked up against him. But things are changing today. As you know, India today is very high on social currency. And anybody who's coming out of India is definitely a more promising candidate, a more exciting candidate to have in any field, including in wines.
Parr is currently working on a vineyard project at Phelan Farm in Cambria, on California's central coast.
It's a regenerative farm. We have vineyards, we have apple trees. We're about to start growing some vegetables. We have animals, but we also try to grow other things, have diversity. Everything is grown organically. We pay a lot of attention to the soil health.
Some 500 kilometers from Cambria in Napa Valley, another Indian-American winemaker has been hitting the right notes. Raj Patel's eponymous winery has been making highly rated wine for the last 17 years. Patel, a former finance professional, moved to the US as a child. He would later intern with the famous American winemaker Robert Mondavi. His boutique winery sources grapes from several vineyards in California. In 2023, Patel's $80 Red Blend 2019 was among the wines served at the state dinner hosted for Prime Minister Narendra Modi by US President Joe Biden. Indian-American winemakers might be uncommon in America, but the species is not as rare as an Indian winemaker in France. Bangalore girl Namrata Prashant didn't have the slightest connection to wine until a French language course at the Alliance Francaise turned her into a Francophile. In 2016, Namrata moved to Bordeaux to study wine marketing at the business school in C. 2 years later, she would set up her own company in France and meet fourth-generation winemaker Corinne Chevrier, known for making great Merlot-Malbec blends. Chevrier and Namrata hit it off. They collaborated to create Solicantis at the former's vineyard in Blaye, Bordeaux.
When I was studying in France, I was interning in Chateau Siron in the middle of Margaux. And I was watching the wines, the growing season of the wines. And it was so beautiful that I literally fell in love with, how the wines grow during the season and what happens at the end of the growing cycle. And I kind of felt that, I would go back to this work of art at some point in my life. I really wanted to learn it, but I never thought that would come so soon.
Launched in late 2020, Solicantis Red is a blend of Merlot, Cabernet Sauvignon, and Malbec. Decanter magazine describes it as easy to drink and a good example of a Blaye Red in an excellent vintage across the right bank. The white is a blend of Semillon, Sauvignon Blanc, Sauvignon Gris, and Muscadel. Solicantus is at present available in 5 countries, including India, where it costs ₹7,000. Also in the works is a Pomerol and new releases specially created for the Asian market.
It's going to be a basic wine, basic Bordeaux wine with, a red, rosé and a white. I think I'm coming up with that for the Indian market and, the other Asian markets. So hopefully, that will be more approachable as with respect to price points for consumers.